As the San Antonio and Hill Country areas work to recover from the devastating winter storm and associated power crisis, businesses and organizations are scrambling to return to normalcy and literally take stock of their reaction to the crisis.
They truly have food deserts. There is nowhere else to get food.
And I think our one constant through it all has been our WIC-only stores.
We had a lot of crafty parents out there who came up with different cloth diapers that they did show us.
I'm Erica Zuko, and this is Commerce Street, a business podcast from KENS 5. In this episode, we're speaking with two organizations that work to help families get the formula, food, and supplies they need to care for children. Between unsteady supply chains, dangerous roads, and people stocking up for survival, a lot of grocery stores ended up with empty shelves. But H-E-B, for one, worked around the clock to restock, giving different hours daily so they could serve customers while staying safe. Here's Julie Bedingfield from H-E-B on what they faced and how they took action.
Yeah, we couldn't be more proud to call ourselves H-E-B partners. And, we had folks who work in our corporate locations volunteering in stores all weekend long, bagging groceries, restocking shelves right alongside our store partners. We've seen great appreciation from our store partners to our truck drivers as they come to stores. It's like Christmas morning when a truck arrives at a store. So there's just a great sense of camaraderie and community throughout H-E-B right now. And we all couldn't be more proud to call ourselves partners.
H-E-B's work isn't over yet. They're working to help support food banks and other community needs.
As we move into recovery mode, we are working closely with Feeding Texas. Over the weekend, we've gotten about 23 trailer loads of product, including water and food, to the communities that have obviously been impacted the most. And so that work will continue. We want to make sure that we're taking care of Texans as we all get back on our feet.
But there have been some items that have been hard to find everywhere. Norma Cifuentes, a public health administrator with WIC, or Women, Infants, and Children, said her clients were hit particularly hard.
One of the main things was with water outages. Well, moms didn't have water to mix baby or infant formula. Similarly, with no power, they weren't able to boil the water, which is something that we recommend even whenever there's not boil notices. And so they weren't able to boil the water to make formula. Definitely, there was a shortage in WIC foods on the store shelves. And so, of course, that was frustrating for a lot of moms because, they're trying to use their WIC benefits to help feed their families. The other thing that happened was formula shortages. Pretty much any grocery store that you went to was short not only on food, but also on formula. So that was something really scary that, moms had to experience this past week. And on top of that, we did have moms whose homes were destroyed because of water leaks. And so we had moms that, lost their benefit cards and were unable to use them because they were basically water damaged or destroyed.
While traditional grocery store shelves were empty, WIC coordinated with these stores to get parents the items they needed.
During the storm, these WIC-only stores actually emailed us to let us know, hey, we're open, we're going to be open, and we have formula. So because we're connected through the city of San Antonio, we were able to provide that information to 311 because 311 was getting a lot of the phone calls, not only from our clients, but just from any mother that was kind of in a desperate kind of situation trying to find the formula. Our one constant through it all has been our WIC-only stores. And so they have guaranteed us that they're fully stocked, and we haven't had any mom come back and say, no, that store you sent me to didn't have it. So
Ashley Hernandez works with the Texas Diaper Bank, a group that provides diapers, wipes, and other products to families in need.
Of course, we know it hit us. It really started about Monday, Tuesday. And started feeling the effects. We didn't really get to respond and be able to until Thursday. And so what we were able to do is send out diapers, some other period supplies, incontinence for our seniors and for anyone with any disabilities. We sent that to the Henry B. Gonzalez Center, and we were able to provide thousands, just thousands of diapers we're hoping to go to families, and they did. So we worked with them to make sure that they went to those families there as they checked in. It was as need, as they asked, we provided, and that's how we worked through the storm. But even the after effect is, it's just been huge here. This is a crisis that we're seeing. It's very unfortunate for our families and even for ourselves. Even ourselves and employees had a hard time, coming out on our last distribution was on Saturday. We were able to help over 1,300 adults, individual adults, and even close to 3,000 children that day, that one Saturday event. That was how we were able to respond, and we're still responding. I actually have one of my own. I just had a baby this past last year, and he's about 7 months old, and I can say, yeah, I can't stockpile any diaper, any one particular size, because he just changes. And so it's the same issue we're seeing. And right now, if you go to a grocery store at H-E-B, and you're trying to find the size, usually it's the larger sizes, 4, 5, and 6 are a high demand, always been. You try to find those sizes, and try to find a box that you need, not the whole year's supply. It's hard right now.
The organization is also helping rural and remote communities outside of San Antonio, where recovery has looked different due to fewer options and difficulty in accessing supplies.
I actually just had a meeting with my team about this, but they're hurting as maybe a little more than us that live in these big cities, because we're able to get the product on ourselves so much quicker. Even though it seems like, gosh, it's taking forever. Every time I go to H-E-B, they're empty shelves. Well, it's even more devastating over there. And they truly have food deserts. There is nowhere else to get food other than the nearest H-E-B that is miles away. So we're seeing that as an issue as well. That's why we're addressing that. We are having different distributions out in the Hill Country. We're using partner agencies to be able to systematically get those diapers into those communities. It's an added need on top of food, on top of electricity and water. This is something that is so crucial for a lot of families that you don't realize until you're put in this situation. So I'm happy to say we are extending our help out into the Hill Country. We're on our way out there this weekend. We're hoping to also provide more help and relief next week as we go into that.
Like WIC, the storms highlighted the need for certain services and products provided by the Texas Diaper Bank.
Just generally speaking, a lot of feedback, of course, is having the supplies they need, the basic supplies, diapers, wipes, but hugely is the wipes because of the water outage. I think a lot of people didn't realize, how bad this was going to be. But for a baby that can't take a bath, wipes are so huge. They're so huge to their hygiene health that a lot of people don't realize. That was a major feedback and kind of eye-opening to us to realize, like, hey, wipes are they're more than just cleaning a little bottom. It could actually be more than that when you don't have water.
And getting creative and thinking outside the box can be the key to surviving the worst.
I do think that most of the grocery stores are pretty good about trying to get something on the shelves. It's always okay to use generic type of formula. I think that's where a lot of people kind of shy away from it. So generic types of formula are okay in a pinch, and as long as they are similar. So if it's a milk-based formula you're giving your baby, give a generic milk-based is fine. Same thing for soy or lactose-free. So I think that's something. And then the other thing too is I think a lot of moms shy away from the concentrate formula. Concentrated formula is just where you have to, instead of it being powder, it's liquid, and you just mix it with the right amount of water. And so that's something else. So I think that those two are other options, especially moms who are strictly formula feeding their babies, is to think about like the alternates. And so generics are usually fine, and usually babies don't have a problem with them.
We had a lot of crafty parents out there who came up with different cloth diapers that they did show us and provide to us. But that's always the best thing to do. And unfortunately with that is the cleaning that goes with it and just being consistent. Again, that's difficult when you don't have the electricity or water, clean water to clean that. But unfortunately that was the best thing that we can recommend at that. We did get a lot of parents, either they came back with their baby potty trained, or they were just ready to get their next delivery for sure.
Both Hernandez and Cifuentes say despite the taking a hit on supplies from the storms, they're ready to help.
Because we do work with Kimberly-Clark. They are the distributor for Huggies diapers, and that's who we work with. I do know that anytime they have any kind of inventory issue, they let us know ahead of time. But we do get diapers that are just either being discontinued or misbranded and mislabeled. So a lot of times we are already in the short end of the stick when it comes to everything else getting on the shelf.
WIC is here to help, because I know that there might be some people who are recently out of work because of the winter storm. So a lot of our clients, it's their first time on WIC. They've never had to ask for help. So we are here to welcome you guys. It's okay to get a little help here and there. And it's really a good supplement, so that maybe you let us purchase a little bit of those basics, and then you can use your funds for the other stuff, right, that we don't cover. So I encourage anyone who might want to learn a little bit more about WIC or think that they might benefit from WIC to give us a call. We're here to help children ages 0 to 5, pregnant mothers who are breastfeeding up to 1 year after they've had their babies, or moms who are postpartum and just recently gave birth. So we're here to help. That's who we are targeting. And so if you think that you might want to see if you qualify for WIC, give us a call. Our phone number is 210-207-4650, and we'd be happy to make you an appointment. And the nice part about WIC, which a lot of people don't know about, is if you have an appointment today, you leave with benefits today. So it's not like a long waiting process that you have to submit an application and hear back months later. If you qualify and we see you today, you will leave with benefits ready to shop today.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Commerce Street. For more episodes like this one, search Commerce Street on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or head to kens5.com/Commerce Street. I'm Erica Zucco with producer Kristen Dean. Thanks for listening.